Mac, take us out.
This is the Big Ten Team Rivalry Show. Good night, everybody, and thanks for joining with us. Joining us, not with us. We're already here.
A good job by J.J. McCarthy. The handoff. Alec Menace is going to throw a pick. They give it to Corum. Up back. Corum. Touchdown, Wolverine. Roman Wilson does it again. Hill finds some daylight. He's got some speed and some blocker. Outside, turns the corner. Blake Corum down the sideline. Looking over the middle. Caught. Touchdown, Wolverine. McCarthy extends the play, now using legs. McCarthy a first down.
Good evening, everybody. Mac, how you doing over there?
I'm good. That sound effect, man. That's some good stuff. I like that.
That's the only one that's working. It works, and so I'm using it.
It's still going too. Is it supposed to be still going?
Yeah, why not? We could use it this week, I think, especially.
Could
Although, you know
we?
what I'm thinking now, if we really want to be a Big Ten channel and expand, I may have to change that intro to include other teams.
Meh.
Yeah, all right. Week 8 is over, and we're going to leave it right there. Dead, buried. The funeral luncheon is over, and we're back at work the following Monday. We've got some speculations to make regarding the future of certain Big Ten teams. Questions we didn't think we'd be asking this year, we're asking tonight. Plus, the Big Ten Brady Bunch is back with a new guest for Week 9 of the Pigskin Showdown. And we have a new guest. I wrote it twice. He's also a Michigan fan, so we can level things out a bit. I think Moose was giving me a hard time last week about having too many Ohio State fans on, so I brought in another Michigan fan.
We still have too many Ohio State fans on.
Not that we don't appreciate our Ohio State fans and our Nebraska. All right, all of that tonight here on the Big Ten Team Rivalry Show, expert trash talk and unrivaled analysis. I am your host, Cliff. With me, as always, is Mac. Mac, what's new in your neck of the woods?
I'm sad.
Really sad, or just kind of sad?
I guess I'm kind of sad.
Your own dinner?
Honestly, you know what? Actually, I'm okay. I've come to terms with it. And the fact is, if you had come to, I posted this on Twitter, so you got to follow me on Twitter or X. But I posted this. I said, if you had come to me after the national championship and said, hey, Michigan just won a natty, you should be happy about that. Would you sacrifice the next season if it meant the Lions win the Super Bowl? Yeah. So that's what's happening. The Lions are going to win the Super Bowl, and Michigan is taking one for the team, and I appreciate it. So that's what's going on. This was planned. This was the plan the whole time, was for Michigan to suck so that the Lions could be good. All right?
Naturally.
Yeah.
The team is taking one for the team.
For the team, and the other team.
And the other team.
Yep.
All right, I think it's time we should bring on our guests because we got a lot to talk about and
lots
to do. So I'm going to start with the guy who came in late. Garrison?
Why? Why reward him for that? Why? Why?
I felt like I needed to.
Dad, why do you hate me?
Oh, man.
Go to your room.
I am in my room.
Garrison, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you guys?
Hanging in there.
I just said how I was doing, and you don't care. Move on.
Oh, man. No, it's a glorious day, It is. I was so happy when I finally got to take what I said after week 1 and just put it together and tag you because I don't know if you guys saw that episode, but everything I said come to pass, and it was just it was beautiful. It's
I know. I remember when you said at the season start, Jared Goff is going to look really good this year. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a great game against the Vikings. I remember when you said both of those things.
By the way, I'm really happy I don't think I was here when we because I don't know if you guys know, I'm a Cowboys fan. So
yeah.
But I'm on record.
Justin's in the back doing this.
I tweeted this. I hope you guys beat the crap out of us. But hi, I'm from the Scarlet and Blue Show with my co-host Bryce. You can find us at Scarlet Blue Show on X, Facebook, Twitter. I said X already, didn't I? Yeah, and Instagram. Myself, Buckeye_Gaddy, and then coming out soon, the Hot Route with Garrison. So that was more to that, but later. But yeah.
Nice. Awesome. All right, let's bring on Justin. Justin, how you doing over there?
What's up, fellas? I'm gonna add more applause. Oh no, wait. There we go.
There it is.
I just wanted to pitch in, Cliff.
I'm happy to see you smiling.
Well, there was a lot of pain that came, and I had a therapy session this morning, so
That's good.
thanks. I got to vent a little bit, but I got another one tomorrow. So it's been rough.
Yeah.
It's been a rough weekend. Texans and Nebraska. Let's not talk about that one too much. We won't recap that game.
It was a rough one. Why don't you tell Texas they can find you?
I
was really hoping the Texan would win. Sorry.
Shut up.
Sorry.
No, oh, never mind. That's a good thing. Never mind. You're good.
Yeah, no, I wanted the Texans to win.
Well,
What do you?
Texans were missing half of their defensive starters. They had a practice squad DB linebackers that had just played. They only played this season the second half of last week against New England, and Nico Collins, who was the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL, was out. So,
oh crap. Okay.
That.
Well,
but you have the second best quarterback in the NFL, so it's okay.
The best. Let's just go with the best. But yeah,
there's this guy Jared Goff.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, my name is Justin. You could find me on X at @the_H-Town Husker, over at Nebraska football at the Voice of College Football, or at Big Ten Show on YouTube. So just searching Big Ten Show, you can find me there as well. So appreciate it.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to bring on Rob and Peter at the same time because they have so much of the same information. But these are our friends from Buckeyes Battle Cry. Peter, Rob, how you guys doing?
What's up, you guys? Sparty on. That's all I got to say.
Okay, Rob is going back now. Okay, Peter.
Hi, Rob.
East Landfill is going to invade Ann Arbor in my hometown, and it's going to turn green in the big house.
I love this.
Okay, guys, where can they find you?
You could find us on our YouTube. You could find us on our YouTube channel.
No, I'm looking for an address. I want you doxxed.
Hey, man, remember the FBI was after me the other day, dog. Last show.
Yeah, you can't make jokes about that anymore.
Oh, I guess. All right. Where can everybody find you guys on the social medias and whatnot?
Buckeye. You can find Peter and I on our YouTube channel, Buckeyes Battle Cry. You can find me on TikTok at Buckeye Rob 13.
Excellent.
I'm on TikTok, Buckeyes Battle Cry. It's a weird world on TikTok. I'm not a big consumer of TikTok, but I do enjoy creating content. I'm actually having a little bit of fun over there. It's a very different platform. We'll just put it like that.
Yeah.
You could also possibly find me in Ann Arbor this weekend, maybe passing out pamphlets on what to do in a crisis. So they're
Can you mail one of those my way?
Definitely, man. You know what? I was cheering for Nebraska, dude. I was
I.
like, oh my gosh.
I'm going to be completely honest with you guys.
L column.
I was thrilled to see Indiana do that well because my Ohio State versus Indiana narrative
doesn't change. That doesn't change. Ohio State
it keeps it going. The train is still rolling.
All right. We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
This hype train is going to be hype as it goes over the cliff, man. That's what I'm saying.
Again, it's me. All right. We have one more guest. We have a new guy tonight. And I'm going to bring him on here. Anwar, how you doing?
What's going on, guys?
So you had a chance to meet everybody. Why don't you tell us where everybody can find you on social media and about the internet world?
Yeah, my name is Dr. Anwar Dunbar. I'm a Michigan alum, actually. So my channel is called Big Discussions 76 Sports. If you want to follow me on Twitter, my handle is at BWR Powerful. I'm also a blogger and a soon-to-be author, so more eyeballs are good.
More eyeballs are good. I meant to ask you, Discussion 76, what is there a meaning behind that, or?
Okay, so let me see if I can give you guys the Cliff Notes version.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so I'm a blogger and a writer. So my first blog is called the Big Words blog site, and so I just went with the branding. I stayed with the big. There's a story behind Big Words. I'll tell you guys about it later. But it comes from my hometown of Buffalo. Oh yeah, I'm a Buffalo kid. Go Bills!
All right, sure.
All right.
I like that salad.
Just don't use big words around Mac. That's all.
Wow.
I get confused.
I think I'm the second most educated person on this live stream, BT Dubs.
Probably more than me.
I don't know, you guys.
That's more than me. That's for sure.
I found this the other day. It is my from University of Michigan. Yep, I went there.
You went
Wow.
You went to Michigan?
Yep, I did.
Oh, you're smart.
Like intentionally?
To troll him.
Yes.
I told you I could get in here, you stupid. You're acting at him. It's not that good.
I lived near the university.
I applied.
What?
I didn't get in.
All right, guys. So it is. Well, we're heading into week 9 now. Week 8 is now over, and we've got some. I'm going to call them big questions to deal with. I don't know how big you guys are going to think these are. I have a feeling that a couple of you are going to get a laugh out of these questions because you're going to say, like Garrison, I told you guys that was going to happen. But here we are. Week 8 is done. Michigan is sitting at 4-3. I'm asking this question because Michigan is the reigning national champions. Which I love to say, but it's getting harder to say. But it seems
no, it's not.
It is.
But you know what Coach K used to say in basketball, you're the champion for that year, and the next year it all starts over for everybody. So I kind of cringe when I hear people say we're the reigning national champions. And plus now with the way things have turned out, I say turn the page.
Turn the page. Well, okay. We will turn the page after this. It seems once again Michigan is all in the past. The transition from Harbaugh to Moore looks more like Lloyd Carr to Rich Rod rather than Schembechler to Moeller, which is what I was hoping for. Michigan is unranked for the first time since the beginning of the 21 season. And I got to, okay, so this is the quote. I got to get my glasses on because I'm old. So, Phil Steele, you guys are familiar with this magazine, right? You know this one.
Yep.
Phil Steele, in Phil's forecast, said, and he's talking about Michigan here, they remain one of the best teams in the country and could still get back to the playoffs.
Well, he was wrong.
He was wrong.
That wasn't even close.
By a lot, he was wrong.
So here's the question. At this point, can Michigan even make 6-6? They've got 5 games left. They have to win at least 2. 3 of those games are against ranked teams. So the only highlight of this season, I think, is that Michigan probably has the toughest schedule of anybody else in the Big Ten. Not that it's going to matter at the end of the season, but can Michigan even make 6-6 this year? Discuss.
So I'm gonna weigh in. So when they face Oregon and Ohio State, mainly passing teams, currently Michigan has the 94th ranked passing team in the nation. I mean, the passing defense in the nation. So it all depends on, their defensive line. But again, we have that same narrative, the same thing I've seen in the last 2 games. Their defense keeps it close to the game. Their offense cannot produce substantial drives. By the way, they have the 119th ranked offense in the country. I don't know what else to say. So they're gonna get tired. Their defensive line's gonna get tired, not be able to produce that rushing attack, and it's just gonna be a complete air raid. So I don't even know if they're gonna be Michigan State, but I'm gonna automatically count an L against Oregon. We'll see how Indiana's QB heals if he's able to go in a couple weeks or so by the time they play Michigan. And honestly, I don't like making predictions for the Ohio State game. Anything can happen in that game. It's the game, a big rivalry, so I'm not going to call my shot on that yet.
Seriously?
Yeah, definitely. I never do. I don't like doing it. It's a big game. Again, anything can happen. All right. Whoever thought that the Tigers would make the playoffs? I mean, they went 13-11 that final stretch, and they end up doing it. Anything can happen, you guys.
There's some wisdom in that. I am the counterbalance to him on the channel. I like to shoot my shot and see what happens. Come for the
Ride
smoke
or die, man.
and hide and catch some shrapnel afterwards. But no, I mean, living where I live in the belly of the beast. Well, one, it's maybe really probably more talkative than I should be. and rocking more stuff. I mean, Ohio State lost to Oregon. The next day I show up to church in the most obnoxious Ohio State hoodie I could find. I said, I'm going to wear this stuff even harder. Every day this week.
I love it.
Well, guys, yeah, I think,
Go ahead.
yeah, there are probably, as a Michigan fan, there are probably 3 more losses there. And I know the quarterback discussion has been beat to death, but I think part of what's happened to us is the ineptitude by the offensive coaching staff. And I think they, with the talent that we have, I don't think our offensive coaching staff has done those kids the best justice that they could. I'll just say this, and I'll let someone else speak. One of the things that stood out to me on Saturday's game was Donovan Edwards started the game versus Khalil Mullings, and Khalil Mullings has been our MVP.
Yep.
This season. So I'm thinking, okay, Donovan's fumbled the ball. Okay, he went on to fumble the ball again. Khalil Mullings is the more physical running back. He's willed us to victory thus far. Why is he not on this first series? So, I don't have faith in the offensive coaching staff right now.
I mean, to build on that, why is Jack Tuttle throwing the ball 32 times? I mean, we had talked about this earlier. Dad and I had talked about this earlier while we were recording our Voice of College Football video. Jack Tuttle threw the ball 32 times. Okay, he had the interception. He actually only had 10 pass attempts in the first half, which means that he had a 60% pass completion percentage in the first half with an interception, even though it got called back, and a fumble. And the coaching staff going into the second half was like, yeah, let's do that again, only more. What? Why does he get 32 pass attempts and Mullings isn't even RB1 anymore? What is this decision making? And the game was only 2 scores at that point. So even if Michigan had gone back to just simply running the football, like the game was well within reach. They honestly probably would have won if they had just told Khalil Mullings, here's the ball, be a wrecking ball and get to the end zone. I don't understand what the second half adjustments were there. I don't understand how you can look at something like, as a guy who works with data every single day, if I saw a data point and it said, hey, don't do this, with all of the red flashing lights that the Michigan coaching staff should have gotten from that first half, I wouldn't look at that data point and be like, nah, I'm going to double down on it. What? That's just my point.
You said that was very eloquent. That was eloquently said.
Thank you.
I just like how you just said they would win. They would have won. I like how you threw that in there. Had they done that,
I think they would have. Yeah, if they had just won the ball with Khalil Mullings, I think they would have won.
Really?
And
yes.
Okay.
Anwar was about to say that I was right. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think the game was there. It was there for the taking. And an Illinois fan took me on in my comment section and said, you said you guys lost the game. We won the game, but and we outgained. Now maybe some of those yards were deceptive. Maybe a lot of them came in the second half. But I was surprised when I did my post game show to see that we had actually outgained Illinois. So it's like, what you turn the ball over, you don't score in the red zone, you piss the game away.
And you know what, Anwar? I'll tell you what that game reminds me of.
What's that?
It reminds me of the game against Penn State that you guys had last year. Now, a lot of Michigan fans like to bloviate about that game. Like, you guys ran all through them. Check the stats. You guys didn't. In the second half, you guys punted the ball mostly. But you guys basically shut down the offense. I thought Illinois didn't play their A game. I thought they kind of shut it down because they knew you guys couldn't score. And you guys knew Penn State couldn't score. I think that's how that happened. There isn't a soul in the Big Ten that is scared of your guys' offense. And I think it's easy to say. Actually, you know what, Phil? Did you see my message to you on X?
Who? Did you say Phil?
Cliff. Sorry, Cliff.
It's funny. That's not the first time I've been called Phil. I don't know why.
I just messaged you on X. Could you do me a favor, please, and look at that?
All right.
I wouldn't do it. It sounds like a trap.
And I want to just play for the guys.
Oh no.
You've got here. Okay, I broke down the facts about the Michigan offense months in advance after the Fresno State game. That one.
Yes.
All right.
It's gold, everybody. I promise you.
He's just doing this so that he can prove that he was right. Like that's all that is.
And
Okay.
And I said I wouldn't be
Can you guys
surprised
hear
if
that?
Ohio State's offensive line was just as good. Fine. And I said
let me
that
start
Sherrone
over.
Moore is a great offensive line coach. Over the last, and I have said over the last 3 years, you won the Joe Moore Award 2 years in a row. Last year's offensive line, we had said even last year during the season, it was not up to par as to what the two prior offensive lines were. And I have said plenty of times on this show, I don't know if you guys are going to have the best offensive line in the nation. I don't know if you're going to have the best line in the Big Ten. And I said I wouldn't be surprised if Ohio State's offensive line was just as good. Fine. And I said that Sherrone Moore is a great offensive line coach, and I call him the best offensive line coach in the nation. But I've heard a lot of Michigan fans say, well, this is Sherrone. We have Sherrone Moore. He's going to get it right. Ryan Day is a quarterback guru. Last year, he didn't get it right. The run game struggled. They couldn't push anyone off the ball. Now let's get to the running backs. I have said that I think Khalil Mullins should be RB1 for a long time. I said that Donovan Edwards can't possibly play worse than he did last year. I lied, seemingly. What all you guys kept telling me about what he was going to be, Steve Deese and other Michigan fans saying that they think that he's going to be at the Heisman ceremony, stop it. He is not that guy. Your wide receivers, they had 7 targets for 19 yards. We'll leave it there. I've been saying all this, laying out the groundwork, laying out the facts, and laying out the scenarios. This is not a good quarterback situation.
The other way. All right, I have one correction.
That was after the Fresno game.
It's Steve Dace, not Steve Deese.
Mr. Panic.
I just
I was watching him during the game on X. I was like, this guy.
Well, yeah.
No,
yeah.
Donovan, that's a good point. Donovan's good when he has these nice gaping holes and where he can take off running.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that against you guys 2 years ago, and then we saw that in the Washington game. But if you hit him at that line of scrimmage and you surround him, you know, he's not gonna do much. Fumble the ball.
Yes.
He only has 2 yards a carry and I think 1.5 after contact.
Do you think that's just because he's small?
He's not small.
I didn't think he was that small. Yeah.
He has a small lower body.
Well, you guys were talking all off season about how he put in all this weight and he's bigger, faster, stronger. And
hold up. Okay, you say these guys.
You people.
Okay, you people. Like, who are you talking? You people. I didn't say anything. I just said other people are saying he did this.
When I brought up that when I was watching the TCU game and Edwards was the main back, I just said this dude is not meant to be an every down back. There's no denying he's talented. He's quick. He's going to be in the pros. He's going to make his money as a third down back in the pros. But in terms of the every down back, it's not going to happen. And, you know, during the offseason when I brought this up, I heard, well, you know, he's putting all this weight. He's looking a lot better. But he's literally, if not, I think he's worse than last season. Last season wasn't like that great other than, you know, the Washington game.
No, last season was bad.
Last season wasn't even, he didn't even have a good season. Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, it's just like, I think that Michigan fans, you know, we tend to get blinded by, you know, these shiny things. And the shiny thing was that he scored 2 touchdowns in the national championship game. And it was just like, oh, you know, there's a lot of momentum going to next season. You know, he's going to be great. I was hearing things such as we're going to have the best running back room in the country. No one's going to be able to stop Donovan Edwards and Khalil Mullins. So
yeah, okay. And when Quinshawn Judkins committed to Ohio State, what did we hear from every Ohio State fan?
And you know what? But
we heard the exact same freaking thing.
That's come to That's come to fruition, though. How they're doing.
Hey, wait. We're not gonna compare.
Yeah, I don't think that's
like Quinshawn
No,
Judkins.
I'm saying no. You're right. Quinshon Judkins is better than Donovan Edwards. That's not the point. The point is that when a piece of news happens or the shiny object moment happens, every fan base is going to be like, "Oh heck yeah!" Nebraska with Dylan Raiola, Ohio State with Quinshon Judkins, Michigan when Donovan Edwards decided to be good against Ohio State and crappy against everyone else. That's just what happens. So then you start saying like, yeah, all of a sudden, what? Go ahead.
No, I just don't know like if that's a direct like I don't know if that comparison works. Like I think that's a disingenuous comparison potentially. But finish. I'm gonna let you finish just to see. Get your final thing out.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish, and I'm gonna tear you to shreds as soon as you're done. So,
I just want to make sure. Like,
my point is that okay. So I'm not making any qualms about the fact that Donovan Edwards is not as good as Quinshon Judkins. What I'm making qualms with is like, yeah, of course we got excited about Donovan Edwards. He looked good during the national title game. He looked good against Ohio State in 2022. He has had flashes. And then all over the offseason, all we heard was, yeah, he's making a commitment towards being more consistent. The Blake Corum type back. And so, yeah, we're going to take what we've seen, the flashes that we've seen, and add on top of that the development that we're being told that he's making in the offseason. And then the result of that would be, okay, we're expecting him to become this every down back. And that hasn't panned out. Now, we as fans can look at that and say, well, shoot, that sucks. We were really excited about this. But that's all we can say. We can't go into the practices and understand what's going on. I mean, to me, actually, Garrison, I'm going to give you a little bit of credit here. You said that we were lied to, Michigan fans were lied to by the coaching staff over the offseason. I'm kind of starting to think you're right, because I don't know how you can look at this O-line, the quarterback room, and the running back room right now, except for Clell Mullings, and say that this team is any good.
But that's why I was thinking about that when Garrison said that, we were lied to, because looking at that Phil Steele comment, I mean, that guy, he's studied stats. What is this? He says he's been like 90% accurate over 40 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So this guy knows what he's talking about. And even he thought Michigan was going to be a playoff level team.
That's true.
So that's why it just blows my mind as to what happened. That's why, we talked about, is it just malpractice on the coach's part? I mean, we didn't have a lot of data on the coaches. Maybe that's where, maybe it really does fall apart. They're just bad coaches.
Well, I thought it was all like, I didn't think it had anything to do with that. For me, I thought my whole reasoning was all just, for me, common sense. I didn't think you guys had talented elite receivers that are like athletic freaks. I think they're fine. I think your O-line was two guys on there have never started. One guy has gotten in here and there. Hinton got benched last year. Now he's coming back. He was playing good this year though. But in my mind, I'm just like, okay, it's gonna take time to gel, and I don't know what it's gonna look like. The quarterbacks,
Well, guys, I think a couple things. I remember when Harbaugh was on the precipice of getting fired prior to COVID. I remember Joe Klatt said that Michigan is a developmental program, so we're not going to graduate a good group and then reload like Georgia will. So that I think there's one thing there. And then, Sharon, when he won last year, he had the whole thing stacked. So it's one thing to come on and take over temporarily when the whole thing is stacked, and then you have to go and rebuild it and develop it yourself. And I think that's something else we're seeing now, is that he had to go reload some of the coaches, and they have to grow up another offensive line group. I don't know if he'll survive the entire process.
Yeah,
with the way this is going, but I think that's part of what's happened as well.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a nice veteran group like he had against Penn State and against you guys last year.
Right.
That was easy. Well, quote unquote easy.
Urban Meyer to Michigan confirmed. You heard it here first.
Stop. Just stop.
Before I want to wrap this one up, but I don't think Justin got a chance to.
Oh yeah.
Give his 2 cents there.
Oh, you're good. I'll let you.
That's
take
okay.
this one. This is the Michigan-Ohio State battle. I'll let you.
I thought you were giving some hellfire and brimstone. I wanted to hear it.
No. I look. Mac saved himself there for a second. Mac
saved himself. Mac was never in trouble. Mac had a point the whole time.
I'm saving it for when we need it. When I need to bring it out, it'll come.
All right, whatever.
I kind of view, Sharon as almost kind of like an interim hire. Like, we're gonna we're going to keep Moore. We're going to keep the culture. We're going to keep the hardballness ingrained in the program. And none of that is really coming to fruition. And just like Luke Fickle, he got a year to prove himself in a tough spot, kind of a late hire, a murky situation.
Crapped himself.
What's that?
All right.
I feel like with Sharon Moore, like I feel like coming into the season, like we expected them to kind of take a step back, a big drop back, right? And you got to think like a lot of their issues are, they're a QB away from not being near as bad as they are.
Yes.
And again, the defense is super talented, but the scheme and whatever they're doing on the defensive side of the ball just isn't working. So I don't think they're too far off. Like I think a lot of these questions raise up because, of course, it sucks being, 15-0, whatever, winning a natty, and then coming back and being 4-3 and trying to find out questions why you can't formulate any kind of offense. But I think that I think Sharon Moore, you almost have to treat him as if, it's kind of a couple year rebuild in a way, just because he needs to restock that deck, like he was saying. And this was never going to be a championship year for Michigan regardless. We expected the drop off. We got it. I just don't think we expected the quarterback room to be as bad as it was. We didn't expect the defense to be this bad schematically or just how they've been playing. So I think it's a little bit more difficult as a fan having the emotion in it to sit here and just try to pull your hair out and figure out the answers. But I think you're closer than you even realize to an extent.
I suppose there is a little bit of, I don't know what the word is for it, but like obviously you achieve the national championship. So then at that point, anything less than that is all of a sudden like the worst thing you've ever seen.
I say it like expectations of this, right? Indiana coming into the season. Indiana coming to the season. You look at a team like Indiana, right? Indiana's going to come out, and if they go 7, well, they're 7-0, but I'm saying they go 7-0, right? And let's say when they were 6-0, and like their biggest wins were against Maryland and Northwestern, and two teams that have a losing record. Well, everybody is then gassing Indiana up. Whereas if Ohio State, due to their expectations, came out and had that same schedule and the same record with the same results, we'd all be trashing Ohio State left and right.
They haven't played anybody.
It's expectations, that matters. That matters to an extent of how we view these teams.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually similar to what's going on at Michigan State now. So Michigan State and Michigan are both 4-3, except that Michigan State is on the way up, Michigan is on the way down.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, let's wrap that one there. Before we get to the next one, though, Justin, you said you wanted to ask everybody.
Yes.
Justin Fields looks like a turtle.
Bro, I'm serious. But here, check it out. I'm gonna send you this tweet. All right.
All right, I've got it here. I could.
Okay, pull it up.
I saw it earlier. Yeah.
Nobody confirmed.
I did.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I did too.
There it is.
Click that picture.
That's crazy, dude.
Tell me you don't look like a turtle.
Wow. Oh, look at that. I love this one.
I don't know why. I've always thought that I just had to do this side by side.
Is this really the week that you wouldn't do this, Justin? Is this really the week that you wouldn't do this?
Listen, I saw him on the sideline. I was like, I have never asked this question publicly out of fear of public embarrassment. But I'm just going to throw it out there to the world. That's why I was like, is this an intrusive thought or am I on point here? And then I was like, I got to put them side by side now.
Don't let public embarrassment stop you from saying anything. I've never let it stop me. So
that's true. I don't really get embarrassed.
I see what you see.
Yeah, it's there. It's there. That's his spitting image.
Yeah.
Spitting image, if I do say so myself.
I just think Anwar's regretting coming on the show. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I thought we were
I
talking
didn't expect the Justin Fields turtle comparison. I didn't expect that. Okay.
Yeah.
Follow me on X. You never know what you're going to get.
You never know.
That's
all right.
Seriously true.
Next question. Okay, so we already started to hit on this. Mac brought this up as a wild possibility a couple of weeks ago, but now I think we got to take it seriously. What's the possibility? And I've got a little bit more than this. I got to fill this out. What's the possibility of an Oregon-Indiana Big Ten championship game? Hold on, let me explain.
Yeah.
Oregon faces Illinois this week, and that is likely the only challenging game left on their schedule. So let's just say Oregon wins out because nothing else is going on their schedule. Indiana has to win out, but they only have one challenging game left on their schedule. Ohio State. Penn State, currently number 2 in the Big Ten, has to also beat Ohio State. Ohio State has to beat both Penn State and Indiana. So when it comes down to it, Indiana and Penn State have the easier schedule than Ohio State.
Indiana and Oregon. You said
No, Penn State.
Yeah.
Oh, Penn State. I'm sorry. I thought you said Ohio State twice. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So this is the question then, will the Big Ten championship, what is the possibility of an Oregon, Indiana Big Ten championship? Garrison, go ahead.
How about percentages?
Hey, whatever, however you want to frame it.
I'll tell you a bigger problem.
Or even arguing with the data.
We're on Penn State and Indiana schedule. I think that's a bigger problem.
All right.
I do too. A shout out to Big Noon Kickoff for answering prayers, putting the game at noon in Happy Valley. Thank you for that.
I'm gonna be there.
Oh, nice.
Oh no!
Hold on. Wait. Nebraska's on their schedule. You forgot them.
I'm sorry. In 2 weeks.
And they're tough games.
Yeah.
And they're tough games.
Yeah.
Sorry, the team that just got blown out 56.
Hey, whoa. What? Oh,
but no, I just.
I mean, I was looking at rank.
But no, I just don't. We're gonna beat Indiana. We're gonna beat them.
Yeah.
And Penn State, I think we're gonna be. We're gonna beat them. Yeah, we're not.
Wait, okay, but hold on. Like, no question at all. You think Ohio State, no question, beats Indiana?
I give it maybe a 5%. If that's a lot, that's actually a lot.
You're asking Ohio State to have their worst game.
Here's the thing. Here's my little input. Indiana will be 10-0 when they face us. They have a bye week to prepare. They got 2 weeks to prepare for the horseshoe. Wow, it's a game I'm considering snatching up a ticket to. I mean, wow. Mm-hmm. I truly do believe Indiana will be 10-0. They will come out firing out the gates, but they are not going to.
They're not 3 deep
in that contest.
Yeah, and Ohio State has Michigan the next week.
They'll be 11-1.
That's the thing that gave me slight pause.
Yeah, guys, I'll just say that I saw Indiana play and. Before we played this last weekend, and I was like, "Wow, okay." So that's
they like that, right?
Yeah, they're pretty tough.
A couple years from now, the Hoosiers are going to be in my humble opinion, I think the Hoosiers are going to be serious contenders in the Big Ten.
I'm literally gonna go to the store after the show is done tonight and buy myself a Hoosier shirt. That's gonna happen. Actually, when I say the store, I mean I got to drive down to the Indiana border, which is about an hour away. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Maybe that'll be a tomorrow thing. But I'm buying an Indiana shirt, and I'm about to be an insufferable Indiana bandwagon fan for the next month.
I'm already there.
If Signetti beats Ohio State, he's about to have a cult. Like, he's about to start a whole religion up in Bloomington or something.
If Signetti beats Ohio State, he's not Indiana's coach next year.
No, I bet you they pay him whatever.
They're going to unload the Brinks truck to pay that.
Yeah,
I don't care. Somebody else will unload a bigger Brinks truck.
I feel like Signetti has a point to prove there.
Yeah.
What the point that he can win? We already know he can win.
He can bring Indiana to like where they've never been and be just the guy and have a statue built of him, or he can go to somewhere else and we see how that's going for Kalen DeBoer. Trying to follow up somebody at a big school where if you don't win immediately, 11 games,
Phillips said,
ass the can.
If he goes to Michigan, there's not a lot of follow up on, so that'll be good for him.
If he goes to Michigan at this point, he's following up Sharon Moore, and Sharon Moore might not make a bowl game. So
they will pull out of that basketball NIL fund to make sure they can keep him.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts.
No.
So
don't underestimate a desperate Michigan. That's all I'm going to say.
That's not that desperate.
Go ahead, Rob. Just talk over him. You're fine.
So I called my shot at the beginning of the year about Ohio State. It was not all sunshine Columbus. This was not like this super team that's just going to roll through everybody. I saw this as a team that was going to need to take an early loss, which was Oregon. I had them, Oregon as the number one team to beat Ohio State, and they did just that. Now, I think that, I mean, Ryan Day says, oh, it's not a wake-up call. Well, after all the miscues and penalties, it's a wake-up call, and I think they're just going to beat everybody in the path. So, no, I don't think Indiana is going to end up at the Big Ten championship game against Oregon. I think Ohio State's going to have a chance at revenge. Do I see Indiana there in like 1 or 2 years, possibly? Yeah, Cignetti's done a really good job. You know, I guarantee you no Indiana fan was ever looking at this big of a turnaround from what they've had. So, you know, hats off to him. But I will say that we do need to start taking Indiana really seriously. They will go. They will. I know, and I hope I really hope the Buckeyes are ready.
So I think everybody's in kind of agreement there that they could be 10-0 going into Ohio State. So that means a win over Washington, Michigan State, and Michigan. They'll probably beat Purdue. But I'm looking at, and again, maybe you guys are hitting it out already that Indiana isn't 3 deep, but they are still putting up, after 7 games, they are still putting up 48 points a game.
That's impressive.
Like it's not just that they're winning these games; they are destroying the competition.
No, and like I said on X, I mean, Nebraska is not a bad football team. And like
we quit in that game. I don't care what anybody says. We just quit and gave up in that game. That we just let the floodgates open up. Honestly.
Yeah, but for me, it's just like seeing them recreate what they've done the previous 6 weeks was insane to me. Because Nebraska probably mailed it in.
But Jamari Butler said as much. He said when we came out of the locker room the second half, we had our heads down. We doubted ourselves. We got down on ourselves, and so they basically quit at halftime.
If I got my butt kicked like that,
and then
Indiana, I probably would too.
Nebraska was inside the 15-yard line like 4 times, and we can't kick a field goal. We fumbled one of them. The other ones we just didn't score a touchdown, but we were right there, 4 times. But we just we don't bring you see we didn't bring our kickers out there one time. It's because nobody can kick a damn field goal. That's why.
You did say
I was supposed to score damn points. I'm fucking pissed, bro.
All right.
I'm sorry, bro.
Demonetized.
It messed up my win percentage.
I mean, dude. 56 to.
I never would have guessed that, my dude. I'm sorry. Like, I was about to send a welfare check on the whole state out there, bro. And that's not me trying to take a shot. Like, I was literally in shock. I am a believer in Cignetti. I am. But what? Wow.
I'm telling you, we got our asses whooped, but I do think that score is a little extra. That score looks. And I'm not saying we did not completely get destroyed, get our ass kicked in every sense of the game. We everything, right?
Do you have the scores just so we can be embarrassed about what we thought this game was going to be like?
That score was just. It was just like I said. When the wheels fall off, right? You know that phrase. Like the wheels fell off, but then the whole car spontaneously combusted, and that's what happened. Right?
No, Justin, I would have to believe that. Let's say there's a world where Indiana is just like doing what Purdue did to Urban Meyer. If he has a chance to lay it on Ohio State, he's gonna do it. I think that's what he did to you guys.
He did it to us. Somebody posted at halftime. They said if Kirk Cignetti has a chance to put up 50, he's not gonna let off the gas. He will. And so I saw somebody tweet at halftime. They said if we have quit at halftime, they're going to drop 50 on us, and that's exactly what happened.
I'll tell you what, man. He is a very confident individual. He's like, yo, I win everywhere I go. Google me. I did. I was like, dang, he does.
Yeah, he does. The hard part about it too is they attacked the middle of the field, and I talked about that a lot, right? But what they did in this game was they attacked the outsides a little bit more. But the problem is he puts that ball in such a good place that coverage or not, those wide receivers were going to get those 50-50 balls like nothing. And he put them in such a good place where only the wide receivers could get to him. Like, that's what makes them so tough to beat. Now, with Curtis Rourke out, depending on how long he's going to be out for, hopefully not very long, but Taven Jackson is good as well, just young. But it's just the way that team is coached, it plays to all of their strengths. You know, he brought in his staff. So he came in with his own guys. He was able to hit the ground running. He brought in all those transfers and he went like production over, you know, he wanted the guys who were going to produce, not talent. Like Dion did something a little different where he went with guys who are 4 and 5 stars who are going to, you know, he's going for talent. Whereas Cristianetti's like, I'm going with these guys that are producing and fit my system and that I know, and they know my system. And he's just schemed that entirely up to their strengths. That's what makes this team so difficult to face. Now, I think if there's a team that can take them out of it, it's going to be the Ohio State team, because I just don't think Nebraska was very good. Nebraska's defense got on their heels against Illinois, so they very much got on their heels against Indiana, right? And I just don't think Indiana will be able to get, you know, like Ohio State on their heels near as much or confuse their eyes. I just think Ohio State's so much more better coached. Their talent's a lot better, of course. And I don't think they're going to fall for the same traps and setups that Nebraska did. And I also just think they're athlete wise. I just think they're going to have the ability to go up and be able to kind of, you know, muscle these guys and fight for some of those 50-50 balls that Nebraska gave up.
Well, you know, I hate to say it, but I guess Jim Knowles will have to call a good game in that one, right?
He better.
Call it a good game in the big game.
He better.
That's not even a shot. That's facts.
Here's what you guys had for Nebraska, Indiana. So Nebraska on the left, Indiana on the right. So Mac had 21-35 Indiana. Justin had 28-24 Nebraska. Peter, 21-27 Indiana. Rob, 27-23 Nebraska. Garrison, 24-26 Indiana.
All right.
I knew as soon as I selected oh, never mind. No, I'm good. I forgot my first prediction. I had a field goal in there, and I was like, that's why I moved it to 28. I had 31-24 at first, but I was going to say that's where I went wrong, is I had a field goal in there, but I didn't.
We were disrespectful to Indiana.
We were.
Yep. I was actually thinking about calling them to win the blowout too. I should have just called that.
You can call it in 2 weeks.
I'm gonna call it when you guys go to, or when Indiana goes to Ohio State. That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, I'm sure we're all thinking we should have called that too. Yeah, I should have called the Indiana blowout too.
Yeah, you should have. You should have done that.
You should have done it.
Where am I at?
Yeah, where'd you go?
I don't know.
I shall return.
We've lost you in the ether there somewhere.
Oh man.
I broke my camera.
I do like Indiana though.
All right, guys.
I'm on the hype train.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm all aboard.
I respect Indiana like crazy. Even though they beat our ass. Yeah.
I am driving that hype train. I am the conductor of the Indiana hype train. I am about to go buy a shirt and prove it.
Kevin Wilson had some fantastic offenses in Bloomington. They were fun to watch. I was super thankful he came to Columbus for all the years that he gave our offense some jolts and some creativity that Urban was, you know, kind of lacking in his later years. And you know, he's phenomenal for Ohio State. And now I think he's at Tulsa. I think as a head coach again. And our offense last year obviously took a massive step back. Ooh, let's see what we got here. 26
All right,
and 8. I'll take that.
Let's get into some week 9 predictions here. This is where we are currently on the stats. Garrison, after 34 games called, you're sitting at 76.47%. Justin, after 29 games, 82.76. So you're just edging out Rob at 82.35 with 17 games called.
Rob, sum it up.
Mac, you're at 41 games called, 70.73%. Peter, 34 games called, 76.47%. So Garrison and Peter are in a tie there for most games accurately called.
Mac's looking like Michigan.
I'm 29-12. What's wrong with that?
You know what's wrong with no.
I've got the most. I like how I'm the only one with double-digit losses, but I've also got the most wins. I don't know. That's funny.
Percentages.
Volume.
All right, guys. Let's get into some week 9 picks here. I lost the page. Hold on. So since we just finished up our Indiana discussion, our first game is Washington at Indiana. Number 13, Indiana this week. They have skyrocketed in the polls. It's a 6.5-point spread, a 52.5-point over-under. Let's see. Who would like to go first? Mac, you want to go first?
Yeah, I think Washington's going to win. I think Indiana's just not strong this year.
All right, when are you going to buy a Washington shirt then?
Hmm?
When are you going to buy your Washington shirt now?
I don't know. I don't live anywhere near Washington, so I can't get their stuff. It's not here in Michigan. I don't know. No, Indiana's going to blow the crap out of them. I mean, it's going to be a huge win for Indiana. I think Washington's got a good offense and might make it fun there for a little bit, but Indiana's currently ranked higher than Alabama, and I honestly didn't think that I would ever live to see that fact. So I'm throwing logic out the window. I'm driving this Indiana hype train even when it goes right off a cliff, and that's going to be amazing. So I'm going to take Indiana 45-21.
45. Well, let's just go down the chart here. Justin, what do you got?
Yeah, so Curtis Rourke will be out, but Taven Jackson, he does add a little element to this. He's a dual threat guy, but he's not your typical dual threat where he's going to just scramble out of the pocket or try to do too much flash. He can stand in there, throw when he needs to. He didn't throw a ton in high school, so he's one of those guys. He's just got to get more refined as a passer. But with he's athletic, 6'5". He's got a lot of fluidity. The thing about the team around him and the staff, it's going to play. They're going to play to his strengths. Just like he came in against Nebraska, played pretty well. Justice Ellison, he's got 514 yards on 7 per carry, so he's been incredible. One of the big things I said going into the Nebraska-Indiana game, I said before the game, I tweeted out the night before, I said Nebraska, one thing that people aren't talking about, what Nebraska has to do to be able to beat Indiana is stop their run game. Everybody's talking about the pass game, get pressure on Rourke. No, Rourke throws good under pressure. Rourke gets the ball out of his hands quickly. If you send pressure from wherever you send it from, he's going to attack that part of the field because then, that defender's moved out of that space. I'm going to throw right over the top of him, right? So it's a lot of well-coached stuff. You have to try to stop Indiana's run game to be able to have any chance to stop them. If you stop their run game, then you have the ability to drop more in coverage, or you can pin your ears back and go after the quarterback. But there has not been really anybody who's been able to effectively do that. They ran the ball so well against Nebraska. Their blocking, schemes. They had that wham, I think on their first touchdown, or was that inside zone trap? Something like that. But it was schemed up, blocked to perfection. I mean, they had the one guy on the inside, the guard. He kind of chip blocked, double teamed, immediately got to the second level, get our linebacker out of space. Like, they're just a very well coached team all around. So I'm going in. Well, then you have Tyson Lossett is another guy. He's got 8 touchdowns as well, but he just about 5.2 per carry. Elijah Surratt, who we all know, one of the better wide receivers in the Big Ten, 32 receptions, 578 yards, and 3 touchdowns. On the defensive side of the ball, D'Angelo Pons is incredible. D'Angelo Pons has been unreal. There was a play against Jamal Banks where D'Angelo Pons, and Jamal Banks is 6'4", 220 pounds, and D'Angelo Pons is 5'9", 170. And he just ripped him off. Like, Pons just threw Jamal Banks off. Like, it was literally like he was just throwing him side to side until he got rid of him, ripped him off. He's going to battle. He's tenacious, and he's sticky in man coverage. He's smart in his zone coverage. I just think Indiana, even with Curtis Rourke out, is going to have a little too much. Washington puts up a lot of yards. They suck in the red zone, and they suck on third down. So I'm going to go ahead and say Indiana wins this one 38. Give me 38-28.
Again, with the weird scores.
Not that weird.
It's not that weird.
I don't know. You made it, so it's weird. That's all I got. I'm out.
Peter, what do you got, man?
Now, I'll tell you what. Kirk Cignetti likes stirring the pot. His introductory press conference at the basketball game. Purdue sucks. Michigan and Ohio State suck too. I'm like, I like this dude. All right. I've never heard an Indiana coach say anything about Ohio State.
Yep.
Tom Allen was such a nice guy.
I mean, they've never beaten them in us in my lifetime. 1988 was the last time, and it was before I was born in the year. So it's been a while, but they just excuse me. I think Indiana drops 43 on them. Excuse me. the Huskies just don't have enough firepower. It's got to hurt a little bit that Giles Jackson, a former Michigan wide receiver, is tearing it up like he is for Washington.
Yeah.
So props to him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really see him being like ever an impact player for them. He's never really produced. I mean, but hey, respect. He's going off in his senior season, so he's coming around. But yeah, they don't have enough firepower. I say 43-23.
22?
23. 43-23. Indiana
23.
wins it.
All right. Gotcha. All right, Rob, you're next.
You know, after
Actually,
seeing,
you know what? Before you go, Rob, I just want to say, anybody in the chat who wants to throw your score in the chat, I will put it up on the screen. So, okay, Rob, go.
Oh yeah, I should have put that as a thingamajigger.
after seeing how they handled Nebraska, sorry, Justin. After seeing how they handled Nebraska, I'm all aboard the Signetti hype train until they play Ohio State. So I have Indiana winning 42-24.
That's pretty close.
Rob's just riding my coattails.
He's doing the Price is Right thing again, man. He's just one score different. Just give me that little.
All right, Garrison. How you feeling?
So all right, yeah, I don't think Nebraska's as bad as they played last week. So I think they could have they left a lot of points out there, as even Justin pointed out. I think Washington's offense is good enough to put up points against Indiana, but I think Indiana's defense is good enough to get some stops, and I think their offense is just greatness. I don't think it matters who's at quarterback for them right now. Like you said, the back was young, but he's very talented. I mean, he came in and threw 2 touchdowns last week. So I'll go with Indiana. Shoot, smoking 42 cigs, and then
What?
Yeah, Signetti,
That's Gabby.
Oh, okay.
and then let's go Washington 30.
30.
High school
I
game.
think they can get to 30.
All right. Anwar, what do you think?
All right. Well, hey, Washington has to travel to Indiana. It's in Indiana's house. Give me Indiana 42, Washington 14.
I think Big Ten teams have only won 2 of the cross-country trips thus far this season, and here we go in season number 1, and that's really going to play a big factor. I know, obviously, Ohio State only lost by 1. That was Oregon playing at their absolute best. Dylan Gabriel playing with his hair on fire, and honestly, they kind of played us for dummies. They didn't put anything on tape, and that was very smart of them. And then they just went all ham on our secondary. But yeah, those cross-country trips, they really are going to be a factor. You know, regionalism, as we all know, is gone. And look out. Those are the new kind of trap games, having to travel across the country.
I heard, I don't know if it was just a rumor or not, but I think they were talking about for those games where there's more than like 1,000 miles of travel, they were going to look for a central site.
Hey,
Oh,
see
wow.
you guys.
Oh, take care, Garrison.
Hey, man.
Have a good night.
And
See you, Garrison.
And before I leave,
Oh, just laugh.
victory for MSU.
Oh, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
This guy needs help. Have fun in therapy tomorrow, Garrison.
Why is the Indiana signs by Ohio State?
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Dad.
shoot. Sorry about that.
Yeah, what, you trying to give me PTSD here?
I guess so. I didn't mean to. I will get that fixed. Well, hold on. Give me one.
I'm like,
second here.
hold on. I know this one 56-7.
I've seen this logo. I know what it means.
It's out there somewhere. Let's see. So we have. Nope. I'm almost there. I got this. I want to fix this for you guys. Nope,
I wanted
lost
to
it.
trigger Justin though.
Where did it go? There it is.
I'm like John Cena.
Look at
right
that.
now, bro. You can't see me.
All right.
That
Our
joke.
next game, Nebraska at number 4, Ohio State. Nebraska is 5-2, 2-2 in the conference.
I can't
Ohio
wait to
State
hear
is
this.
5-1, 2-1 in the conference. Not too much different there, right?
So excited to hear this.
The spread is 25.5.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. The over-under is 48.5. I'm sorry, Justin. I love Nebraska. I do. I love Nebraska more than Ohio State.
Nicely done.
Sorry, guys.
Let's start at the bottom this time. Anwar, why don't you give us your thoughts? What do you got on Nebraska, Ohio State?
Yeah, give me Ohio State 35, Nebraska 17.
I like this guy.
17.
Okay. That's a bit more competitive. Why only 35, really?
Well,
What? Shut up.
Well,
Anwar, go ahead.
Let Anwar speak.
no. I'm a man of few words. That's what I've got. I've seen Ohio State play. I saw Nebraska play as well. So I think, I think that's what I think.
Yeah, smart man.
Okay. All right.
Smart.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Garrison's going to take a forfeit on this one. Rob, what do you got?
I think the Buckeyes are going to get back on track after that heartbreaking loss. Going to wake them up. I think they're going to bring the fire, and the score is going to be 30-20. 38-20.
Back on track, as though Oregon wasn't the number 3 team in the nation, and like I can't believe I'm defending Ohio State right now, but they were never off track. It was a top 5 opponent on the road. They're good.
Yeah, from all the miscues and the penalties, and you know what? I really hope Jim Knowles starts putting pressure on quarterbacks, because Dylan Raiola is no slouch. He could give them trouble.
And what's going on is not his fault, which I'll get into in a second.
I was just shocked that Texas dropped to 6th this week?
Yeah,
5, I thought.
5?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just looking at the top 5 and seeing Penn State in there, it's just like one of these is not like the other,
Yeah.
Right.
They will get exposed here.
Alabama is collapsing.
Yeah. Navy. Put Navy in there. Go Navy. That's
Navy.
my second team.
All right.
My point to Jim Knowles is, like, you have 2 5-star edges that you need to utilize more. Like, I just don't understand. I'm going back to the Oregon game. When Dylan Gabriel threw his first bomb for touchdown, Jim Knowles had four defensive, everybody drop back in pass coverage and had the edges stay home. It's just that type of thing. It's going to kill you in the long run when you go against teams who have an elite passing attack. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Peter, what do you got?
The thing that has made Ohio State so effective this year, and honestly, the Oregon loss didn't really shake me in any way about how I feel about this team. It actually helped me feel a lot better about Will Howard. He won me over in that game. Last play excluded. That was boneheaded. But, anybody blaming Will Howard for this loss doesn't know ball and didn't watch that game closely. Here's the thing. Ohio State is predicated, and Chip Kelly was at Oregon and all his other stops, on a balanced offensive attack. I must admit, I did text my boys. I said I think we're taking an L at halftime, because all our big runs for the entire season have come between Jackson and Josh Simmons, our left tackle, our left guard and our left tackle, or off the left side, bouncing outside or finding a crease somewhere on the left side of the line. And so I'll be completely honest. I am very, very concerned about our ability to run the football moving forward. Now, Ohio State is a program where we recruit. It's next man up. It has to be next man up. One injury should not derail a season. If there was one offensive lineman we could not live without, it would be the blind side left tackle. I mean, and how powerful we've been. I reiterate it, on the left side. We had 15 rushing yards in the second half. That shows me that we don't trust Mikulski. He's getting the start here in this game versus the Huskers, and I have cause for concern, because even when they announced him as the starter earlier, it might have been the end of last week, excuse me. They said, yeah, we're going to give McCoskey the nod, but, we're trying other things too. That means he's not taking the position and made it his own and claimed it as his. And so I'll just be honest, man. I think we're going to be rushing for 50 yards less per game, each game, because of this loss. Depth on the offensive line was a concern that Rob and I hammered home all offseason on our channel. And then that happened, and I was like, oh, my gosh. So I really do have concerns that we can be a balanced football team now. And that really stinks because, like I said, Will Howard won me over. I didn't think he could play that well. I was not convinced. I said all of season 2, I wanted Dylan Gabriel or Cam Ward from the portal. And obviously they are balling to an elite level for different programs respectively. Will Howard is quite the quarterback, and I'm very impressed. So I do have Ohio State winning this game, of course. I mean, I don't think.
Of course.
Sorry, that was arrogant. I don't think too many people are going to go with the Huskers. I mean, they used to be the black shirts, proud on the defensive side of the football, and wow. Who would have ever thought during the 90s 56 points would be dropped on a Huskers squad, and that's painful. But
don't bring it up anymore.
Hey, man, you got the Eric Crouch jersey back there. I got to bring up 2001, early 2000s, late 90s.
I had some.
But Quinshawn coming back from an injury, minor surgery to his wrist. Oregon somehow knew that and attacked that and literally ripped the ball. You don't see many fumbles where you just like, give me that, finish him, and just take the ball right out of the running back's hands. Like there was no punch, there was no whoops. He just said, mine.
Twist his wrist. Got it.
Pokes. And so anyway, all that aside, Ohio State is going to take the dub. They're going to protect the home turf. Dylan Raiola, I think this is probably the only chance, with an expanded conference that Raiola will see the horseshoe. So Buckeye fans, take advantage of that. Be rowdy. Let them know you're there. But being a noon game, first big noon kickoff game with Gus and Joel, can't wait. Ohio State's going to take this one. The Will Howard is going to have to lead the day, I think, and Travion as well. They're going to have to get creative, though, with the run game. But Buckeyes score. We'll go 38 Ohio State, and I will go 14 for the Huskers.
So no Judkins. He's not going to have a big game.
I think Travion will have a bigger game. Yeah.
Why? Because you can utilize him in the pass more.
I think he's more explosive to the outside. I think you can exploit those things with the Huskers' defensive front and with their secondary. And honestly, Will Howard's going to lead the day and lead the offense, like I said. But I think Quinshawn's still come back. He's not going to get nearly as many carries as Travion, in my humble opinion, because of the injury and the surgery.
Mm-hmm. All right, Justin.
All right.
Are you okay? You doing fine?
Yeah, I'm hanging.
Dog is okay.
Cocaine. What?
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't say cocaine.
Demonetized again.
All right, Justin.
Drug trafficking going on.
Yeah. So, okay. What I was saying about Nebraska's offense, kind of what I just elaborate on that a little bit in Raiola. This play calling has been some of the worst play calling I think I've ever seen from Marcus Satterfield. There's no rhyme or reason for anything that we're doing offensively. There's no plan B to fall back on. There's no simplified version of this offense. It is an all or nothing offense. Simple as that. Rutgers, we scored 14 points against Rutgers. Those two drives, I did a play-by-play breakdown of every single drive, of every single play. And I said, I was seeing what went wrong on each of those drives. The two drives that we scored on, we balanced run and pass. The ones that we didn't, every single one of them, we had some kind of lateral play or multiple lateral plays. We can't block on the perimeter. We keep going to the perimeter. We have to stop. We are not using the middle of the field. Raiola is dealing with a situation where we'll come out on 1st and 10 and we'll, run the ball for no gain, or we'll come out and we'll have like a quick hitting pass that's not properly schemed up, or we'll come out the lateral pass. So 2nd and 10, we come out and there's 3 or 4 routes that are 15 to 20 yards down the field with 0 check down. Happened against every single team we played this year. Happened the first drive against Purdue. It killed our drive. First drive against Purdue, we come out, we have a lateral play. We get to midfield, have a lateral play. 2nd and 10, we have 3 routes, all of them beyond 20 yards down the field. Raiola has no check down option, so Raiola has to roll right and just try to throw something up and see if he can make a play, but he takes a hit on top of it. There's no rhyme or reason for what we're doing offensively. The run game is not being used intentionally. It's not being used to set up anything. Nothing we're doing makes sense on offense. We are not playing to our offense's strengths. Our wide receivers are struggling with separation because of that. And Raiola is really just getting hung out to dry. A lot of what we're doing, if you on the film, it's not Raiola's fault. He's being put in so many bad situations by Marcus Satterfield's horrendous play calling. And coming out of the bye, my video was titled what Nebraska's offense has to correct to beat Indiana, and they didn't correct any of those things. So until I see a correction there in this offense, and again, the defense, I think the defense is okay. I like to an extent, right? The defense, again, I just think the wheels fall. Even Rule after the game, he said, "I don't even know what happened out there." He's like, he was embarrassed. He's like, everybody quit essentially. But he's like, we're not going to be victims about this, whatever that means. I don't care what it means. The offense needs to be figured out. And if you're not going to get rid of Satterfield, which I've been telling people, caution people, he's probably not getting rid of his guys mid-season, if even that in the offseason. But until I see a offense that can have any kind of efficiency on the field, I'm not going to pick them to beat a lot of teams on the rest of the schedule. I mean, I still think that we're in a good position against, USC, but, Wisconsin's playing better defensively. Iowa's good defensively, but Ohio State right now is just, they're too good. And Ohio State always blows our doors off. So I'm going to say Ohio State 41, Nebraska, 14.
14?
Until the offense proves something to me.
Yeah. All right.
It's 2 weeks in a row I've seen of inefficient, ineffective offense. They got to prove something to me.
I'll be tuning in, Justin. I gotta bounce, but I'm really looking forward to your analysis and breaking this down and just learning more about X's and O's ball, because that is your forte, and that is
absolutely
definitely not mine. So,
yes, sir, man. Hey,
appreciate you, man. I'll be tuning in and commenting. You'll see me.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Have a good night.
Okay. Take care, Peter. See you soon.
See you, Peter.
All right, Mac, what do you got?
All right. Well, I think the analysis has been pretty much hammered home at this point. I think Nebraska's offense is good enough to hold on to the ball for a little bit. So, I mean, I think that they'll score a couple of points anyway. I think it'll probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 14. 2. Okay. And but yeah, I mean, Ohio State's obviously going to run away with it. Sorry, Justin. 42-14.
Why you apologizing to me? Look at my score prediction.
Well, I know, but you kind of have to say that, or else you're called a homer, apparently. So
no, I'm strictly going by what I'm seeing from this team, and it's just not good. Not good.
Yeah.
Just the offense, the offense.
Yeah,
especially.
Yeah, everything you're saying sounds exactly like what's going on in Michigan. So
yeah.
All right, our next game, number 20, Illinois at number 1, Oregon. Again, the spread is 21.5. Oregon is 7-0 in the conference. Illinois is 6-1. The over/under is 54.5. Let's go back up to the top this time. Mac, what have you got?
So, all right, Illinois is kind of a weird one to me. The reason being is that I feel like against Michigan last week, their offense actually didn't play extremely well. Luke Altmaier is a really good quarterback, but Michigan's defense, as bad as Michigan has been this year, the defense is still, kind of holding their own in a lot of respects. I think that the reason Illinois was able to, I guess I was going to say the reason why Illinois was able to take the game was because the defense kind of gave up, but that's not really the case. I think the defense actually played a really good game, and Illinois' offense really couldn't do a lot. It was Michigan's offense that really dropped the ball. The thing is, though, is that I think Oregon is just vastly superior in every phase of the game. And I firmly believe in what Brett Bielema is doing at Illinois. Bielema, okay. I firmly believe in what he's doing at Illinois. I think he is a fantastic schemer, and I think that might actually make this an interesting first half. But I think Oregon's going to end up pulling away with it. But I don't know. I mean, I would actually probably come out of this game feeling pretty good about Illinois if they kept it within. I mean, I'm going to say 3 scores, but the reason I'm saying that is because I feel like Oregon's going to score once or twice in garbage time. So I'm going to take Oregon 35-21.
35-21.
Yeah.
When I take a chat real quick here, John says, so you guys are saying Indiana is better than Ohio State?
No.
Yep.
No.
No, nobody here is saying that. I was speculating a possibility.
No.
Not saying that's actually going to happen.
I'm
Justin?
saying that.
Matt saying that.
I just want that out there. I am saying that.
You are saying that. All right, fine.
And I will take the heat. Bring it.
Oh, you will. You will. The guy right under there is gonna throw it at you. Speaking of which, Justin, Illinois and Oregon, what do you got?
Yeah, so I still feel like Illinois is being extremely disrespected, and I've probably been saying this for the last since the Nebraska game, since I was able to watch the full film on Illinois, because what they do isn't sexy, and what they do isn't going to beat you down, but they're going to do what they do, and they're going to do it well, and they're not going to deviate from that. What they do well is they run that system with the H-back where they do a lot of disguise. They do a lot of things. They do a lot of setup plays to set themselves up for stuff later in the game. Even though the run game isn't effective, always they'll keep with it and they'll start getting some more of those chunk gash plays in the second half. But you look over at Oregon, Oregon's got the most accurate quarterback in the country. They're the number 1 team in the country. Illinois, you toss out the Purdue game, they've given up 13 points per game, and their defense showed up really well on the road against Penn State, although Penn State's offense is nowhere near Oregon's offense. I just think, Oregon's a little bit too fast, too talented for Illinois. I think Illinois will be able to kind of box them in a little bit, maybe keep things in front of them. But I just think over time, the battle of attrition, Oregon's obviously the better team. They're going to pull away late. The spread in this is what, 21? So I'm going to say, give me Oregon 30. Give me Oregon 31. And
you got it.
Illinois 21.
Illinois 21. All right. Ooh. Has anybody else put up 21 points on Oregon?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, yeah.
But I think if Illinois can, it's just going to be a matter of, methodically marching the ball downfield and do what they do well. And I think they can do that for a few drives at least. And their defense.
Oh, wait. Ohio State did.
Oh, yeah.
Ohio State put up 31, yeah.
Their defense is very opportunistic as well. They do force turnovers. Pat Bryant and Zachary Franklin are monsters on the outside as well. The one thing is Caden Fagan's out for the rest of the year. Now, he's their big bruising back, of course. So he's out for the rest of the year. Terrence Ferguson's status for Oregon is still in the air. But, yeah, I feel comfortable with that 31-21 right now.
All right. Rob, what do you got?
So when I was watching the Illinois-Michigan game, I noticed one thing, which I don't understand Brett Bielema's call playing strategy. They had Michigan on the ropes in terms of passing, but then just he switched it up, tried to run down the middle with, a really good defensive line. And I think in the second half, he did too conservative.
He did that against Purdue too.
Yeah,
That's did what happened there.
Everything to try and I thought he's doing everything to trying to lose this game, but he's lucky that Michigan didn't have an offense. But so I think that he could do the same thing against Oregon, but I think that Oregon's gonna win this easily. I think Oregon's got too much speed. Illinois' defense is not as well. It's not as good as Ohio State. But here's the thing. Here's what I noticed against Dylan Gabriel. If he has remotely anybody in his face, has to make quick decisions and roll out of the pocket, he's very turnover prone. So if they could just dial up some blitzes, get a lot of pressure, which I saw against Michigan, they were pretty good at. Then they have a chance. But so I have Oregon winning, let's say 34 to, gosh, I'm gonna say 20.
20. All right. Anwar, you're up.
All right. Respect to the Illinois fans. I saw that game personally. So Michigan outgained them on offense, and I thought that a really big play for Illinois was that fake punt, and that was significant in that game. And I'm saying that to say that the fact that they had to, everybody uses trick plays, but I think that was key to them winning that game, in addition to our offensive ineptitude. So I think Oregon is just a stronger team, and I'm going to go with Oregon 42-17.
Oh, 42. All right. 42-17. Okay. All right, guys. So I know I always want to say I've been saying that we'll do all the ranked teams. I'm going to skip over the Penn State-Wisconsin game unless you guys really, really want to talk about it.
Nobody cares about Penn State. Move on.
All right. So we are going to talk about Michigan State, Michigan. And for a couple of reasons here. One, a Michigan fan and a glutton for punishment. The other one is that, as we were saying earlier, that Michigan State, Michigan and Michigan State are both 4-3, but Michigan State appears to be on the way up. Michigan is on the way down. Nevertheless, Michigan is actually favored in this game. And I don't know if this game will actually mean anything ultimately to any sort of bowl pick or playoff pick, because I don't think either Michigan or Michigan State is making the playoffs. At this point, I don't know if either of them are going to make a bowl game. So I just wanted to go over this game real quick with you guys and see what you think. Let's see. Who do you want to... Mac, why don't you... Well, no. Let me do it this way. Justin, why don't you start? What do you think about Michigan State, Michigan?
One of the reasons I think the spread is what it is and what makes it such a hard game to pick outside of the fact that it's a rivalry game is, Michigan's obviously the more talented team, and up until Michigan State played Iowa and beat Iowa, you probably would have picked Michigan in this game looking ahead, right? But like you said, you have one trending up, one trending down. And I think that's the difficult part about some of these are the gotcha games right here. These are the ones that are tough to pick. Aiden Childs, my camera keeps cutting out. Aiden Childs has looked better, a lot better. He's getting more refined as a quarterback. However, his decision-making is still not where it needs to be. It still leaves a lot to be desired. His football IQ still needs development. He's 18 years old. Of course, we can expect that. But he did a good balance of throw and run, but again, just made some mistakes in terms of his decision-making. Michigan, on the other hand, they can't really figure out any kind of offense. And part of me feels like Michigan wins this game, but then the other part of me is like, where do the points come from? And I think that's what I'm struggling to figure out. So I think I have no choice but to go Michigan State. Let me say 24-17.
24-17. All right. Yeah. Let's Rob, how about you go next?
All right. So I brought the stats and everything for this game, did my research.
Let's do it.
So let's talk about Aiden. So Jesse, you talk about Aiden Childs. So for the season, he has 1,468 yards, 6 touchdowns, but 9 interceptions. Very turnover prone. Again, just like Dylan Gabriel, if someone gets in his face, he has to roll out the pocket and make a quick decision, like he's going to turn over the ball a lot. And I think that's what Michigan can deliver on. Again, they have 3 first-round picks on the defensive line: Josiah Stewart, Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant, all first-round picks, so they should really utilize that. But so I look back at the Iowa game. You couldn't ask for a better game from Aiden Childs. He really is progressing as a quarterback from the beginning of the season. He had over 250 yards, about 2 or 3 touchdowns, 22 for 30, and one interception. I mean, coming from where he was to what he is now, if he plays that type of game, and again, you have a Michigan secondary who is ranked 94th in the country, and they could really pick on that. They'll probably not trying to knock Jair Hill, but they'll more than likely pick on him a lot. He hasn't been great, but that's all up to John Smith's play calling. It's all up to the type of game that Childs plays, and their star receiver Nick Marsh as well. He's having a pretty good season for Michigan State. But I think in this, I'm gonna go with. I think Michigan's offense is going to lose them this game. And let's talk about the QB room. And this is not trying to diss anything. These are just the facts. Okay, so just hear me out and take it as is.
Fake news.
Davis Warren, who was benched, has the most passing yards on the team with 44 yards. Tuttle has fumbled the ball and threw an interception the last 2 games. They do have that rushing attack going for them, but since they can't really pass, they're more than likely going. Michigan State's defense, who is ranked 29th in the nation, by the way, that's not bad at all. More than likely going to anticipate for the run a lot. And the thing I don't like about Michigan's offense is if they're put in like a 3rd and 2 situation, 3rd and 3, I bet like 9 times out of 10 Mullins gets that. He's a bruising back. He used to be a linebacker, converted running back. He's good. But if you get them in a 3rd and 5, in like 3rd and 6 situation, I don't like their chances on getting that first down. They're going to be anticipating the run, and they know that that Michigan cannot throw. So it could be a snooze fest. I was looking at the Iowa game too. They got most of their points from the kicker, Jonathan Kim. He kicked 6 field goals. He got 18 of their points.
Nice.
So it could be who gets in field goal range. Who gets in field. But again, I'm going to go with Michigan State. Michigan State is going to Sparty on against Michigan. I'm going to say 14-10.
It's an Iowa Minnesota score.
Yeah. That's 2017 Michigan State is what it is.
Yeah.
That is a boring game.
Yep. I think I got to agree with Penn State Jim here that this is a must-win for Michigan. They lose this one, and they're just done for the season. Although I guess the same would be said for Michigan State. I don't know that Michigan State's going to do anything after that either. I want to give Anwar the last word on this one, so I'm going to go to Mac next. Mac, what do you got?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm with Justin. I feel like Michigan. I feel like Michigan can win. I feel like Michigan should win, but where are the points coming from? And then obviously there's the momentum factors that, Michigan's on the way down, whereas Michigan State's on the way up. I didn't expect Michigan State to put up 32 points against Iowa's defense. That's wild to me. And the fact that they bottled up Iowa's running back, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Caleb Johnson, thank you. The fact that they bottled him up pretty well. I mean, I don't know. That was just wild. So then you kind of got to ask yourself, was that an outlier for Michigan State? Was it an outlier for Iowa? Is this what we can expect from Michigan State moving forward? Iowa is kind of hit or miss this year. I mean, they got blown out by Ohio State. They lost to Iowa State when they really shouldn't have. I mean, I don't think they should have lost to Michigan State here. I don't think Michigan State should have won, but we also look at Michigan State. They probably we thought that they would lose to Maryland, but they ended up beating Maryland on the road too. I'm not saying that that's a good win or anything. I'm just saying that Michigan State is kind of defying expectations. So under normal circumstances, or if Michigan didn't suck this year, I would say Michigan would win this game. Well, obviously, if Michigan didn't suck this year, I'd say that. But being the optimistic Michigan fan that I am, I want to believe that somebody is listening to Monday Morning Quarterback with Devin Gardner and Sam Webb. And Devin Gardner is talking about, you got to go back to Alex Orji. He's the only one that's taking care of the ball. Yeah, he can't throw the ball, but at least he's not throwing interceptions and he's not fumbling like Jack Tuttle is. So, I mean, I think that he's right. I think Alex Orji gives them the best chance to make a bowl game this year. And I think if they could scheme up something that fit Alex Orji's skill set, then maybe we'd be getting somewhere. But for some reason, Kurt Campbell just doesn't want to do that. I mean, why is Jack Tuttle throwing 32 times against Illinois when you've got Kalel Mullings, who should be running back one? So I don't know. I mean, conventional logic says that this coaching staff should learn. They should know, like, coming into Michigan State, this is a very winnable game. If they put Alex Orji back at quarterback and Kalel Mullings back at running back one and play to their strengths, Orji can throw it 15 times, maybe, but that's it. That's the max. Okay, he should not be throwing any more than that. And when he does throw, it needs to be dink and dunk. It needs to be checkdowns. It needs to be slants. That's it. And 10 of those 15 passes need to be to Colston Loveland. I don't care that he's going to be double teamed the entire game. Do it anyway. Run the ball. Are they going to do that? Are they going to learn? I don't know. So I'm going to continue to be optimistic because it'll be a cold day in Los Angeles before I pick Sparty over Michigan. So I'm going to take Michigan. I'm going to take them 17-10. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Also, I think Will Johnson's going to shut it down soon. So there's that. Is he going to?
Will Johnson might not play this game.
At that point,
he's injured.
Yep.
Anwar,
what do you got?
Yeah, I think Mac articulated it, and Rob articulated it very well.
Not Justin though, because he can't use his words good.
Okay, this is an emotional game. It's a rivalry game. It's for bragging rights in the state. Michigan State got owned the last 2 seasons, and I think they'll be out to prove something. I did take a look at the statistics, just like Rob did earlier for my pregame video. And the Aiden Childs kid, he threw the ball, he ran the ball. 2 other wide receivers gained 100 yards on their receptions. And yeah, I think the question for Michigan is, where's the offense going to come from? And yeah, maybe it's back to Orji, but I think the challenge to Kurt Campbell is to do what's good for Orji. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to do what we did against Washington, where you're going to make him sit back and try to make him be a pocket passer, that's not going to work. So it's a game that could go either way. I did pick the similar score to Rob. So I'm going to pick Michigan 14-10 with the understanding that it could go in the opposite direction, because I think Michigan State's going to be amped up for this one. So there we are.
Yeah.
One thing to add too, Michigan State's tackling had been horrible, and that was the first game where it looked semi-decent. So that's another aspect of this too. Like, which Michigan State are you going to get? Because a week prior against Oregon, they couldn't tackle to save their life, and then against Iowa, they're securing tackles left and right. It's such a hard game to gauge here.
Yeah. So let's also look at Michigan's woes against first-year Michigan State coaches as well. So,
oh my gosh, I know. Yeah. Wait. Isn't it just Mel Tucker?
And D'Antonio.
Yeah, D'Antonio, Tucker.
We didn't lose the first year of D'Antonio, did we?
Yeah.
Did we lost to Bobby Williams that first year too? That was the TJ Duckett touchdown catch when he took over for Saban.
What year was that?
I don't remember.
That was 2001.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why I don't remember it. I was 7.
I was 11.
Okay.
Man, what could
was
have
30.
been for Michigan? What could have been for Michigan State? I mean, they had Nick Saban on the staff, and little did they know they had a
Word.
gem there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think wasn't it Rich Rod, Hoke, and I think Harbaugh. They were 3 in a row who lost to Michigan State their first year.
Yeah.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Well, hey, Cliff, thanks for inviting me up. I have to jump down too.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. Do you want to throw out your socials real quick?
Yeah, hey guys, my channel is big. It's as the name says, Big Discussions 76 Sports. I'm always looking for new subs. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I think Justin followed me. It's at, this is all one word, at big. No, it's not spelled out. It's at BWR Powerful, which is short for Big Words Are Powerful. At BWR Powerful. That's on X, Twitter X.
Nice. Twitter X. Excellent. Thank you very much. Thanks for being on the show.
Right.
Really appreciate it.
I can join you guys again someday.
Later, man.
Yeah, thanks,
we'll have
man.
you on for sure.
Okay, take care, guys. Bye.
Take care, brother.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.
Oh, hey Mac, how you doing?
Ah,
Yeah. Oh, even I'm like, who's that ugly guy?
jump scare.
All right, guys. I think that will actually do it for us too. Anyway, unless you guys had anything else you wanted to throw out there.
I think I'm good.
Think you're good? All right. Well then. Sorry, man.
2007.
Everybody's going crazy. What was 2007?
2007. D'Antonio started coaching Michigan State. So, hang on.
yeah. Cars
Michigan
left.
vs. Michigan State in 2007. Not
right.
hockey.
While Mac's looking that up, Rob, why don't you give us your socials again? What do you got?
You can find Peter and I, who I co-host with, on our YouTube channel, Buckeyes Battle Cry, and you could also find me on TikTok, Buckeye Rob.
Excellent. Yeah, and I did, like I said on your show, I did appreciate you saying that Harbaugh and his staff were some of the best coaches in the country there. So
Yeah, I was kind of obnoxious with that video, but what inspired me
it's football. It's football.
Yeah, what inspired me with that video is when I saw Dave Portnoy's video of laughing at Ohio State, same old Ohio State, then laughing at the reaction of his Ohio State friends. So I'm just like, I need to get a video in it.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, thank you again, Rob, and we will see you guys next week.
Definitely.
All right. Take care.
See ya.
Later, bud.
All right, Justin.
See if my
You're
camera will
See if your
work.
camera will come on there. We
long
can
enough.
see you one last time. Give
Yep.
us the socials. What do you got?
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
And he's got it.
All right. So you can find me over at _, H-Town Husker. I'll do an official face reveal over there on X. So go follow me over there and get ready for that.
He worked
and,
in the shadow.
Yeah.
Be prepared for your monitors to shatter.
Yeah. It's going to be a rough one.
Yeah.
Make sure you take your glasses off too. You can find me on X at _ H-Town Husker. You can find me on Nebraska football at the Voice of College Football. Ohio State fans, if you want to stop by there, I'll be doing some breakdown film reviews of some stuff. I'll probably break down Ohio State a little bit as well, and also at the Big Ten Show on YouTube as well. So yeah, if you want to find me over there, just give me a follow and give me a sub, and let me know what y'all think.
Definitely worth it. The hardest working man in college football on YouTube. I love it.
I appreciate it.
All right, take care, Justin.
Awesome.
See you later.
Later,
man.
y'all. Later.
See ya.
All right, and there we are
right.
for this week.
28-24 Michigan over Michigan State in 2007. So no, Michigan did not lose to Mark D'Antonio in Mark D'Antonio's first year.
Oh, not Mark D'Antonio's first year. Okay, I'm sorry. I was thinking, because that was Lloyd Carr's last year.
Yeah.
So the next year, Rich Rod lost to D'Antonio.
Yeah.
And then Hoke lost to D'Antonio his first year.
Yes.
And then I'm pretty sure Harbaugh did too. Yeah, he must have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of Michigan State head coaches, we
Right.
we lost to Mel Tucker in Mel Tucker's first year,
Yeah.
and then Jonathan Smith.
Right. And then going back, I believe Lloyd Carr, Gary Moeller, and Bo Schembechler all beat Michigan State in their first year.
Yeah, but didn't Nick Saban win in his first year?
I don't know. We'd have to look that up.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, whatever. That's for another show.
We'll look that up. We'll get that out to everybody. I think that's going to do it for us. I appreciate everybody out there in the chat. It's been an interesting season, and Michigan fans, hopefully you're staying positive, enjoying the game, even if Michigan isn't doing well. Clockgate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that. That's they got the 1 second put back on the clock. Oh, when was that?
I can't remember, but wasn't there also like the 5th down?
Something weird. Yeah, a couple of weird things happened in that game. Are you looking it up?
I'm trying. Yeah. Okay. So the 2001 Michigan State football game, sometimes called the Clock Incident or Clockgate, was played November 3rd, 2001 at Spartan Stadium. Let me just see if I can find the part where it happened. Okay, so on 4th and goal, Michigan State quarterback Jeff Smoker threw a touchdown pass to running back TJ Duckett as time expired to win 26-24. Smoker spiked the ball with 1 second showing on the clock to allow the Spartans to have one last play.
Yeah.
And
there was big hullabaloo about it because everybody was saying, no, the clock ran out. It was over. But they gave him a second, and that's all they needed.
Okay, so... Michigan coaches, players, and the ABC broadcasters argued that the clock should have expired on the play and that the timekeeper, known as Spartan Bob, purposefully stopped the clock before the ball was grounded. Yeah. Michigan radio commentator Frank Beckman speculated that MSU had benefited from its home field advantage, calling the unfolding controversy criminal on air.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, there's always something fun. That's why this game, I mean, it doesn't matter that, Michigan and Michigan State are both looking at, terrible seasons. This is still going to be a fight to the finish game.
Yeah.
Nobody's given up in this game, and they'll be taking guys out on stretchers before anybody gives up.
That's true. Well, except for last year when Michigan won 49-0.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
worst loss in Spartan Stadium history.
Right. Yeah. All right. Like I said, appreciate all the Michigan faithful out there keeping their optimism. Remember, it's just football. We're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy the game. That's why we have guys from different fan bases on the show, because we love talking about football with everybody, and we just want it to be fun. We just want to enjoy it. Don't want it to ruin our lives.
Please stop ruining our lives.
I just want it to stop. I mean, of course, it's always more fun when your team wins, but they can't always win.
No.
All right. So here we are. We will be back next Monday night with the crew, calling more games. And I think that's going to be about it. We've got our video coming out on Voice Michigan Football, the Voice of College Football, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So don't forget to check that one out. I think that's going to about do it, unless you got anything you want to add, Mac?
No, I'm good. Go Indiana.
Oh, good. All right. Go Blue, everybody. Enjoy your games. What does Keegan say? Everyone should have a Kentucky mud flap. I'm assuming that's a drink. And I agree. That's going to do it for us. Have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. Mac, take us out.
This is the Big Ten Team Rivalry Show. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.